Hey, I'm back, and today I want to go over some tricks and things to help you learn Japanese. So, let's get into it. So one of the reasons I thought I'd do this today is because when I started, I didn't know lots of tricks, and there's a few things that helped me, and I thought I'd share them. I'm not going to claim to be some expert in Japanese because I'm not, but I do have a few tricks and things I've learned about reading Japanese that may be able to help you, and that's what I want to talk about today, specifically reading. So for those that don't know, there's actually three types of writing in Japanese. There's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. The hiragana and katakana, I'd say, are easy. They're not really easy, but they are completely phonetic, so there's no weird things about the pronunciation. And also, there's a fairly limited number of them. I forgot how many is it? 46 of each? I don't know. But it's not too many. And then once you learn them, you're kind of done. You can probably learn them all, the hiragana and katakana, in like a week if you really, try hard. But I think most people take like a month, maybe 2 months or something like that. But it's not that hard. Once you got that, you're good. The problem is the kanji. So I want to tell you about like how to memorize those. The problem with kanji is there's, I think officially around like 2050 you need to know to be considered literate. Unfortunately, even though they say there's 2,500 that you need to know, there's actually another like 500 that you really need to know. And the reason is those other 500 are like people's names. So if you think, I learned 2,500 like they said, when somebody like hands you their card or you see somebody's name written someplace, you still may not know what it is. And the same thing if you go to like a sushi restaurant, the names of fish are in kanji that aren't included in those 2,050 or 2,500. So it's better to go, above and beyond. But I know you're thinking like, 2,500, how am I supposed to memorize that? So one of the things that can help you is this. This is a book called Remembering the Kanji. It's really good, and basically what it does is it's just like memory tricks to help you memorize all the different kanji. You can see it in here. It has different stories and things with it, and this helps you learn them. And then after that, they have a volume 2 of this book, and it helps you remember the readings, because that's one of the other tricky parts about kanji. Not only are there many of them, but the way they're pronounced is different depending on the word, which is really confusing. So sometimes it'll be read one way, sometimes it'll be read another way, depending on what comes before or after it. And you really need to learn this. And for me, this is still really hard. Some kanji, they only have one way to read them. Some of them have two. Many of them have two. Most of them, I think, probably have around 3. But there's some that have like 4 or 5. And it's really, really confusing. So by doing this will give you kind of a head start. And then once you have them memorized, you really need to practice them. So for that, I recommend get some manga you like, pick up a copy, and start reading it. So these like little manga books here, this one is Bleach. I know I went on a rant a few months ago talking about how Bleach was making me angry, which is true, but I actually am a fan of Bleach, so I like it. Just pick whatever you want and go through it and try to read it. And the more you do it, the easier it'll be. And the reason I recommend manga as opposed to like a book, I know you're thinking, shouldn't you read something serious? And the reason you shouldn't is because if you see in the manga, next to the kanji, they'll have the hiragana, which tells you how to read it. So if you don't know what the word is, you can quickly look it up in the dictionary. If you don't have the hiragana in there, looking it up is much more difficult. It's possible, but it's really, really difficult if you don't have that there. So this can help you. And the more you do it, the more you'll memorize it. It's better to do something every day. And besides, if you have some boring book, you're not going to want to read it. I mean, choose something you like. And I will say this, manga isn't necessarily how people speak. Like, there'll be certain things people will say, like, they'll say, like, Kisama. I've never heard anybody in real life actually use Kisama as, like, an insult for someone. I think that actually was originally, like, a term of respect, but then it kind of turned into an anime / manga insult. But I don't think anybody actually uses that in real life, so that's one of the things that's kind of off. And also they make up special words for like like some sword attack or something that's not real. So you you probably will learn some things that probably aren't going to be useful for you in real life, but there are 90% will be useful. Bleach is a good one. Choose whatever you like, but if you want like some recommendation, Draimon is a very easy one without many kanji in it. I think it's mostly hiragana. It's for children, but it's kind of like a funny-ish comic, kind of slice of life about a young boy growing up in Japan. All Japanese people know it, so if you read this, you'll have plenty to talk about with Japanese people. Another one that's good is like Crayon Shin-chan. That's kind of similar to maybe like The Simpsons, but it's in Japanese. It's about a young boy who causes lots of trouble. So if you like, actual comedy, you'll probably like that. One more that's very, very important that I almost forgot. There's a program called Anki, and this is a program that uses a spaced repetition system, and this is really important for memorizing things. This is the best thing I've found as far as memorization goes. It's free. Maybe if you have any questions, I'll do a video about it next week if you really want to know. But Anki is the greatest program. I'll leave a link to it down below. It's really important, and it's one of the things that I think really helped my Japanese. But that's it for today. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, see you.